Boom. Curious Radio.
What's going on? Drummer extraordinaire, Nick Ineck. Am I saying that right? Ineck? Yeah. What's going on, brother? How are you, man?
Good, man. Good, man.
Welcome to Curious Radio.
This is a trip to be in here, finally.
Yeah, I know, right?
So many months. This is great. Curious Radio. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. What you been up to, brother? What's been going on with you, man?
There's so much we could talk about. Much we could talk about. What do you want to talk about?
I want to catch up first.
The last time I saw you, we were ponying up at the bar over
Yeah.
and Hounds.
Yeah.
Sundays.
Are you still doing that?
Did you enjoy
Yeah,
that?
that was tight.
You like that?
So Nick does this. I don't know if you're not doing it anymore, right?
Yeah, well, I'm still a big part of Songwriter Sundays. I passed off the booking and management of it really to my man Jesse McLeod, who's now doing all that. But yeah, man, we're still doing it every Sunday. Whenever I'm in town and available, I head on over there and host the night. And
Fox and Hound.
Yeah, man, we've always got some awesome artists coming through there.
It's super cool, bro. So what it is, it's this event, and you guys, do you guys pick the talent, or you guys have submissions, or what it is?
You know, a lot of times it's been pretty easy that we don't really have to go searching for it.
Yeah, there's a lot of talent
There's so much talent that just comes to us through our friends. We get a lot of people referring artists all the time. So, you know, most of the
music community is kind of small too.
Absolutely. And most of the job is really, Jesse's job now, is sifting through the tons of inquiries that come in.
Yeah.
Really. It's not him really going and looking for artists.
Just like, who's good?
Yeah, and a lot of times it's just like, if this person is referring someone, we trust that referral, so it's like, you red carpeted, right?
Yeah. That's usually how it works for any industry, right? Because it's like somebody can vouch for you, like, all right, just, because there's a lot of crazy people at the same time.
It's very true. It's very true. I'm glad to have you out that night. It was really cool to see you and catch up. And
it's cool, man. You guys had some fucking awesome artists there, like really talented people there.
Yeah, I can't remember if that was a first Sunday of the month or not, but we have 9 artists every first Sunday. We do kind of a Nashville style.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was three up at a time.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So
they do that in Nashville a lot.
It's very much a Nashville style songwriter round. We picked that up from our trip we took to Nashville a couple years back with an artist I was touring with called Lucy, and we went in and saw a bunch of these rounds.
That's it. That shit goes by Lucy.
That's the name of the band. Yeah.
Oh, Lucy. Oh, that's tight.
Luci. Lucy. It's
that's
female
cool.
fronted. There's 3 girls in Lucy, Mikhail, Ariana, and Ashley, and they are fantastic.
You don't play with them anymore?
I still play with them.
Oh, nice.
Time to time. In fact, I'm going to be playing with them at Songwriter Sundays, not this coming Sunday, but a week from this Sunday.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's cool. How long you been playing drums, bro?
Oh, man. I've been playing drums 20 plus years. 22
Shit,
maybe.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy when you think about it like that? You're like, fuck, I've done this longer than most things.
It's a trip, man. I think about that a lot because I've gone in and out of jobs and in and out of hobbies and in and out of girlfriends, and I'm just thinking,
it's a common denominator.
There's one thing that I've been able to stick with that's always stuck with me, you know?
Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah. How long have you been
playing? 19 years. Yeah, on and off. Like
since you were 1.
Since I was, yeah, man. That was 10 years old. So I was 10, yeah. So yeah, it's kind of been one of those things. I feel like my brain's broken, maybe, and I gotta go through the body. That's why I have to work out every day so I can get my thoughts straight and like.
You look good, by the way, man.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it, man.
Every time I see you just
man,
getting more and more cut.
Healthier and healthier, bro.
It's inspiring watching your Instagram posts.
Yeah, thank you, man. That's what I'm trying.
I get up, I'm like, God damn, I gotta get some abs like that guy. You're making everybody jealous, dude.
Bro, but I used to be a little fucking. I used to be thick Rick, and that's why I'm like. That's why I put it, because I'm like, not to be like, hey, look at me now, but it's more of like, yo, I was on the deep end. Like, if you're on a deep end, like, if I can turn this bitch around, I was partying 4 or 5 nights a week.
You told me. I remember when we first met, you were telling me this story. You showed me some pictures of Thick Rick.
Oh, yeah.
I thought you had your nickname was from something else.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
And recently I saw you posting a picture, or one of your friends sent you a picture of you when you were thick.
Oh, yeah. My friend, she asked me, she's like, hey, send me one of those pictures when you were fat. And I had to screenshot that fucking message. I was like, oh, it's so funny.
No
yeah.
That's what good friends are for.
Exactly, yeah. You need to be ridiculed every now and then. But it's one of those things, man. I'm like, fuck. there's no shortcuts, and it's when you figure out one thing, it helps you figure out like a lot of fucking things. That's why I tell people like get this whole podcast. I'm like, just try shit. You know what I mean? If you're not fucking happy at something, like try something. Like, and don't keep trying to like if you're trying the same thing expecting a different result, you're out of your fucking mind. You know what I mean? That's why I'm like, it's one of those things where I'm like, I was trying everything, and I told myself I would never stop eating meat, and I was like, and it made it a thing that just made it easier for me. And now I don't necessarily need it in my diet, and I don't necessarily have anything against meat. It's just easier for me to maintain a physique if I'm cutting out certain things in my diet. I'm like, it works for me, man. Like, fuck. If this works, like, I don't know. I tried everything before that, so let me just, it wasn't, but it wasn't just meat. It was like a lot of shit. It was processed foods, the drinking. Yeah, exactly. Mainly the drinking. Well, when you drink, bro, think about it. Like your rules bend, right? And then you're at Jack in the Box.
Shitty.
Yep, you're eating Carl's Jr. at 3:00 in the morning or some shit because you're drunk and like fuck it. So that's a big part of it. I don't know. And that, as an artist, like I'm sure that tempts you a lot too, right? Like being in clubs all the time.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a tough thing to. I know that the drinking for me has been the difference between me having to swim 3 days that week or having to swim 5 days that week.
Yeah.
Usually that first day after the weekend, I'm just working off the weekend.
Yeah.
I
hate that, bro.
Instead of just getting right to being above where you were last week, you're trying to get back to where you ended last week.
Yeah. Yeah. And not even such, because sometimes you do more damage than good. You know what I mean? Like you kind of take over that damage, or at least the damage is more. It has a further impact on you than the actual work you did during the week. Say like the week before, you could only get 3 days in, and then you drank on the weekend, so now you're fucking further behind 2 weeks. You know what I mean? You're starting at a deficit. I don't know.
That's true.
It's
so
tough.
Let me ask you. So the no meat thing, that's not a moral thing?
I mean, partially. It's I just can't trust people telling me this is where it comes from. Like this is good meat, and you're like,
right.
The fuck, it looks the same to me, bro. Like I don't know, you know what I mean? And there is a big difference between processed meat and organic meat, and I'm just like, I don't know what that animal's been through. I don't know where there's zero quality control, or like at least we're just so disconnected from the process. Now, if I fucking killed that animal,
I was just gonna ask. So, if you raised this chicken, you chopped his head off.
That'd be total. Yeah, I could totally eat that. But I don't feel like killing chickens either. Like it's kind of fucked up.
That's what I want to know.
So I'm like, I'm just gonna skip it, man. That sounds like a lot of fucking work.
I can picture thick Rick running, chasing a chicken around.
Come here, little chicken. Dude, I was traumatized. I think I've told this story in the podcast before. When I was like 10 or some shit, my mom and my aunts, we were at my cousin's house, and it was like a birthday party, and they're like, we're gonna fucking make a chicken, and they're trying to catch this chicken around. It's my mom and my fucking aunt running around with this box trying to catch it. They finally caught it. His head is sticking out from the box, and his body's under the box. It was like one of those thick banana boxes. And they're trying to cut his head off, and they think it's cut off.
Oh, no.
And they move the box, and the chicken isn't dead yet, and his head is hanging off, like, by a limb.
My God.
And he's running around the fucking backyard, and blood is squirting everywhere, bro. And all the kids are like, what the fuck is going on?
Traumatizing.
Zombie, yeah, dude, for real.
Oh,
It was like a zombie chicken running around the goddamn backyard. They finally got it. They ripped his neck off, and they dipped it in a bucket of boiling water, and I was like, I'm not gonna eat that chicken.
Oh man, all of a sudden feel like being a vegetarian.
I know, for real, right? But we're so disconnected from that process. I think there's something to be said about that process.
Absolutely. I got a friend who actually there's one place that he trusts, and he goes to this farm, and he goes and I guess he just trusts their process.
Yeah.
He goes in there, and that's where he picks his eggs. That's where he picks his meat.
Beautiful.
And he doesn't eat meat. He's actually trying to be full on vegan.
Yeah.
For a lot of other reasons I don't really understand. I don't really fully understand that world, to be honest with you. Of course, I grew up a little, Southern Idaho kid.
Bro, I grew up eating nothing but meat. Are you kidding?
Yeah, just meat and potatoes, man.
Yeah, bro.
Every meal. Steaks, burgers, I mean, you name it. But yeah, man, it's a crazy world. But I noticed you started kind of doing that. Well, you've been doing that for a while. Because when I first met you, you were in it.
Yeah.
You're all the way in it.
Yeah, and I'm just progressing off of it. I'm just, I'm like, how far can I take this shit? You know what I mean? Like, how far? I'm like, damn, I feel pretty damn good. Like, can I feel better? Can I feel better? And I'm just chasing that, and who knows? Like, of course, we all have different genetics too. So what's good for me isn't necessarily what's good for you. That's why I'm like, just try shit. Who knows what the fuck it's gonna be? What's gonna be the answer? Like, even down to like career paths. You know what I mean? Like, when you were a kid, did you ever think like, I want to do this or I want to do that? What were your ideas for that? Like, you know, did you ever think you were going to be doing what you're doing now?
I always dreamed that I would be doing what I'm doing now, but I never fully realized that until later in life. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I always ignored it. I think that's why I ended up
Out of the fear of it or something. It seems
probably,
so big.
maybe. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, sure. A lot of that's probably fear. I mean, that's part of the reason why I avoided the real world at all costs. It was me going to school, got my undergrad, got out, started. I mean, I've done anything you can think of, bro. I've done. I mean, I've worked every single job you can think of, including I worked right down the street here for LA City Aquatics at Hanson Dam.
Dude, for real.
For 7 years, bro.
Dude, I did my community service at Hanson Dam for a ticket. I had a speeding ticket.
That was you.
Yeah, I was in the golf course, and we used to like maintain our shit there. Yeah, that's funny, man. Did you did the sales jobs and everything too?
Man, I worked
did the
for
sales route.
Guitar Center. I did
that's kind of cool.
Outside sales for Mount High Ski Resort for 6 years. I taught snowboarding for over a decade. I lifeguarded for over a decade. Oh yeah.
So you got a lot of different skills that you just you've done that for a long time too. Then snowboarding.
Long time, man. Since I was 14, I started teaching when I was 14.
Oh shit.
Up until I was 25, I was teaching.
Damn.
Yeah, and I worked for Universal Music Group. I worked for an attorney service. I worked for, you name it, man. I've done a lot of things. And then at one point, I got out of my undergrad. I went to work for this attorney service, and it was awesome to like have work and to feel like, oh, I'm a graduate and like
I got a job.
I got a job. I'm doing stuff, but and then pretty soon I was like, I'm not making a lot of money, and
it doesn't feel that good anymore.
Is this it? Like,
yeah.
And so I ended up getting what I thought was my dream job at Universal Music Group. I was working in mobile copyright, clearing songs for like ringtones and ringbacks and stuff. I thought that was cool. I'm like working for one of the big four at the time. Now it was three, and I was
Who
like,
was that?
What's that? Universal Music Group.
With Big Four, what
Universal,
who did
Warner,
they merge with?
Sony, and BMG.
Okay, cool.
And I believe
who's gone?
BMG merged with. I can't remember. We're gonna have to look that up. Get your.
I know we got it.
Hey guy, can
I
you
know
go
for
look
real.
that up for us?
Hey Nala.
Nala. So anyway, after that, I just decided I was like, I'm gonna procrastinate on the real world again. I got an opportunity to go back and get my MBA out at Cal Poly Pomona.
And what?
It's like MBA, Master's of Business Admin.
Oh, in business, okay. Business administration.
Yep, business admin, and so I graduated there and finished with that and started playing drums again. I mean, I never stopped playing
but
drums.
You don't, yeah, I know what you mean. When you like kind of pull back from it.
But I clearly wasn't 100% focused on it.
Yeah.
And now it's like, I feel like I'm in my early 20s. I feel like I never really came out of 25, to be honest with you. So I'm back at that place, whereas when I graduated my MBA, I kind of felt like there was this expectation. I was just supposed to go work for some finance company. And like, I was putting a resume together and I felt ill.
Dude, I know what you mean.
Ill.
It feels like poison.
I literally went on an interview even just a year ago. I was still in this place. Every January, I kind of go through this thing where I'm like, no work is happening as a musician. What do I do? Should I go into the, And I went on an interview, and I came back from this interview. I went into my bathroom, and I threw up, dude.
Damn.
I literally threw up.
But that,
and that's
in
when
a way,
I knew.
like, that's your body talking to you.
That's when I knew, man.
So that was the last one.
Listen to that.
Yeah. It's your body telling you the same fucking thing.
Talking about nutrition and what you're putting in your body and listening to what goes in.
Everything. I would tell people, I'm like, down to the shit you follow on Instagram, down to the fucking people you're talking to. All of that shit is important. You're like responsible for what content and what everything that's ingested into your avatar here. You're taking all the part of that, and experiences are a big part of that because they have a physical effect on you as well. We don't think it does, but it actually does. Like shit, you're throwing up, like that's fucking, you know what I mean? Like I've been there where I'm like, man, I had a job, I was doing sales, and I was just kind of like making money, but it's one of those things, man, and you feel like you're getting slowly poisoned every single day. Like it's just slow dosage, you know what I mean? And you're kind of dying a little bit every day, you know what I mean?
The micro dose of
yeah. And then 40 years down, you retire, and you're like, I'm too fucking tired to do anything now. And you get 40% of your money and you retire. I'm like, that sounds like a fucking awful idea. Like, I don't fucking like that model.
Miserable.
Yeah. And it's a lot of it is us doing things that we're told we're supposed to do. I'm sure a lot of the schooling was probably like, it's kind of because I went to college for a little bit just because like that's what you do, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you do. But school and I never really got along. I just, it's one of those things. I needed specific. I don't know. Like I believe in trade schools and shit, for people because some people are just cut out to do different shit. If you got to go to a like MI is a big one. You didn't do any music at all in college?
My undergrad was music industry studies at CSUN.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
So I played drums all the way
down the
through.
street.
Yep.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Oh, at least you got to play.
I did.
Yeah, I mean,
but it was still very structured.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And I didn't really.
Do you play with several different people right now?
Yeah, I've got a lot of things cooking right now, man.
What's
a lot
going
of
on?
great stuff.
What's popping?
I've got.
I've been watching your videos, by the way. They fucking look dope.
Cool.
Your drum covers and shit.
Thanks, man. You know what? I was really inspired after. I gotta really hand it to you, man. My impression that you left on me after that Kia commercial we shot back in September. Well, it made an impact, bro.
Why is that?
I wanted to tell you that. It made an impact just because your energy on set and your thirst for life and creating and not giving a fuck about
Thank you,
all
man.
the other lanes.
Yeah.
And you were like in your lane. And I said, this guy is, what is he taking?
Yeah.
He's not eating meat. Maybe that's it. I
No,
tried that.
that's part of it. You're like, no, back to potatoes and meat.
That wasn't it. But anyways, it just got me really focused. And that's the beginning of last year's when I decided to start doing these drum covers for me.
Yeah. It's therapy, bro.
Yeah.
It's really like, it's almost like it's, bro, I realized that right before we booked that Kia commercial. So it was weird. I called my friend Espy, who I started the podcast with. One day I put some headphones on and I just had drum pads and I started drumming a song that I hadn't heard in like fucking 10, since I was touring, you know what I mean? I was like 10 years ago. And cause I've been doing this whole acting thing, whatever. And I started playing this shit and I closed my eyes and it felt like I was on fucking stage. Like, that adrenaline, that high, you get a little bit nervous, you get a little anxiety. You're like, okay, cool. All right, cool. Let's fucking do this. So I was feeling all this shit. And as song ended, I opened my eyes. I'm like bawling and shit, like my headphones on. I was totally immersed in this experience and I took it off and I was like, I'm like shaking. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, and it made me realize like, this is almost like a form of therapy. That is if you think about it, how old were you when you started drumming? Like, it takes you back to the child version of you. It just eliminates all this bullshit that this life throws on you. And you're like, oh, this is for me. It's not for anybody else.
Yep.
And that's the only way it works,
Yeah, and you got to get back to that. You got to remind yourself of that often. And
it's easy to forget.
And I'll tell you, a lot of people asked me as I was doing these and started this last, a year and a couple months ago in January. And people ask, why are you doing these drum covers, man? You're trying to get like this gig or that gig or whatever. It's like, man, I just do it for me, man. I do it it's my release. It's my creative outlet. I think that I needed something that was, I've always facilitated a lot of artists on stage.
But you don't do it for yourself.
Facilitated their art. And again, like these covers, like I'm covering other musicians, you know what I mean? But I'm doing it in my own style. I'm doing it my own way. There's no one there telling me how I have to do this, how I have to do that.
Well, that's the beauty of it, because I always say like we all have our own magic, right? And nobody's gonna do your magic like you do your magic. And none of this, like people are like, oh, he's better. I'm like, it's just different. Everybody has their own different shit,
man.
It's
different. Yeah, the drum covers have been great, and it's when I met you this last September, it kind of fueled it even more and made me realize I can do more.
Yeah,
I can, whatever my mind says that I want to do, I can do. And so I put together, I want to do 12 drum covers this year.
Beautiful. That's
and
it's attainable.
I've got
totally attainable.
4 of them out, and we're at the end of got a 4th one coming out next week.
Bro, you're on schedule.
April. So, and I still have 2 more in the can, so I'm ready to release those.
Oh, bro.
And I'll be halfway through the year. But as far as like the original music stuff, what do you got? You got a.
Sorry, I think the hammer went down here. What's happening? Keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, as far as the original music stuff, I got a couple different artists that I've been playing with that I'm really, really passionate about. One is called Alke, Alke. They got this 80s dance soul that's like just sounds really nostalgic and full of energy. It's just an exciting sound that, again, is reminiscent of the 80s, but has so many great elements of today. And I'm a big fan of it. We actually playing at the Study next Wednesday. I don't know what time. Probably follow me on Instagram to find out when, because I never seem to know that information till last minute. But you can follow me on Instagram. Here's my plug right here. Ineck Drums. Find me on Instagram.
Spell that.
Nick. My last name is Ineck. Ineck Drums. But yeah, follow me on Instagram.
Sorry, guys, we had some technical
Facebook.
difficulties. That was super rude of me, Ineck. Sorry about that.
It's all good, man.
The camera ran out of battery because I had like 3 episodes in this fucking camera.
Dude,
or not memory.
That's what I'm saying, man. You're overloading. You're again inspiring. This is,
bro. You know what it is? Like I've been realizing like sometimes we gotta empty out, but into the shit we want to empty ourselves out into. You know what I mean? Like we are always. I worked so many jobs, and I'm sure you did too, where you fucking give so much of your energy, and it's not even yours. Like, none of that is yours. Like, you don't get to keep any of that. A lot of those jobs, you get fired, you laid off, you quit, whatever. And I'm like, damn, you're giving so much effort away that I can put into the shit that I like. Like, this is something I like. This is just fucking, I'm just hanging out with my buddy. You know what I mean? Like, and at the same time, we're creating content. And at the same time, like, this is my own little side thing to do while I'm in this crazy industry of artistry, you know what I mean? It's the same thing like if you're being a drummer. It's unpredictable as fuck. You don't know what the fuck's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Document the process. Do whatever you fucking want. I'm all about, like, make the 8-year-old version of you happy.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And I think that's pretty... Like, if 8-year-old version of me saw me, I think you'd be like, that's pretty tight. All right. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, Ricky.
Yeah.
I like what you're doing there, man. Do more
like
of that.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Well, let me ask you a question then. As far as being an artist in an unpredictable world, day to day, now I know I watch your Instagram stories. You got a pretty regimented day, week, month.
Yeah.
You seem like a type of guy. I mean, even just looking around here, you pull a latch and a bed comes out of the wall and shit. I mean, you seem like a pretty well thought out guy. What sort of things do you do to harden your mind to continue some sort of routine?
I'll tell you, I force myself. A lot of it. And a lot of it is like working that muscle, bro. That's the reason why I do, like, I always tell people, I'm like, I do 90 minutes of yoga every Sunday, the Bikram. You ever done that?
Yeah.
You know how hard it is. Yeah. It's a mental thing though in there. You're just like, fuck this. It is so hot in here. Yeah. And you're sweating and you're holding these positions. You're like, when the fuck is this going to end? And
I'll tell you what, it's the best I've ever felt walking out of those 2 times.
You're so grateful. You're like, oh, yeah.
You feel incredible though.
Yeah. It's all these heat shock proteins. Your body's releasing endorphins and all that shit. You're like, oh my God. But I do that every Sunday because it's, again, working that muscle.
Bikram yoga.
Yeah.
Once a week. Sundays, folks.
Yeah.
Next.
I work out 5 times a week. I go to my trainer 5 days a week just because it's like, if I don't, my brain won't work right. I think a lot of our problem is that we get up without we get up and we start making decisions and moving throughout our day. And we're still kind of fuzzy. We're still kind of getting our shit together. You know what I mean? Like, we're still kind of like in this half dream state, we're like fucking stumbling, like a drunk baby stumbling across into our day. And eventually you kind of fall into it. You're caffeinating, you're on stimulants, you're smoking cigarettes, you're drinking coffee, all this shit to get you there when you already have those abilities in your body. If you just work out, it releases different chemicals in your brain that are kind of like, okay, cool. You're playing the video game again. You know what I mean? It's a new day in the video game. What are you going to do now? Your brain is like at level 0. So if you work out, boom, I have to do that 5 days a week. And then on top of that, eating super clean. Like a lot of what fatigue and all that shit is in our food, bro. Mm-hmm. Sugar crashes. Like, sugar's a big one. People are vegan all the time and shit, but it doesn't do you any good if you're fucking eating brownies and shit all day. You're vegan brownies, vegan this, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
And I see a lot of those people. I've seen a lot of fat vegans.
Shout out to those oatmeal chocolate chip vegan cookies from Trader Joe's. They're the shit.
Oh, amazing. I love those too.
But they slow you down.
100%. But now I feel it a lot more, bro. I feel it a lot more. I don't know. I think we got to be uncomfortable. It's like drumming. You know when you're like uncomfortable, something's making you think a lot. After you learn that shit, you're so much better at just doing that. And it's just, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, it almost like changes your perception on everything.
Do you ever get derailed from
Yeah.
your routine?
Yeah,
Does it ever bring you down?
definitely. That's what fuels me to get back, because I get like depressed if I don't. Like not depressed, but I'm just like, I just don't have like the energy. I'm like, I don't have the drive. I don't have the, you know what I mean? And that's why I'm like, okay, I just got to keep doing this regimen, because this shit works. You know what I mean? And if I stop it, I'm like, I'm groggy. Like if I don't wake up and go to gym in the morning, I feel fuzzy. If that makes any sense.
What's your gym? What do you do?
So I have a strength and conditioning coach. He does like we do strength and conditioning. So we do a lot of like, it's all about functional movement and like just using your body the way it should be used. So a lot
Is this like a CrossFit thing?
Fuck no, he hates CrossFit.
Okay.
CrossFit
I'm
is
happy to
injury
hear
101.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Good.
fuck that.
Okay.
That's
Because I
just-
see you in there throwing ropes and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, oh, is this...
Yeah. No, that's like our burnouts. We'll do like
Okay.
a finisher after a workout. We'll do, but it's all regimented as well. Like we're going up here in body weight. We measure body fat, skeletal muscle mass, everything. It's dope. So I don't know. I think that's a big part of it, and I think people are realizing that slowly. There's like a big awakening going on where people are like, "Hey, man, nobody's gonna take care of this body for us."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, and eventually you realize, wake up one day and you're like, "Damn, maybe I could do better."
So you don't consider your yoga as one of your workout days?
Yeah, no, I do, but I do,
Okay.
I also hike 3 times a week now.
Okay.
So I'm doing 9 workouts a week.
That's awesome.
That's insane.
That's awesome. So where are you hiking?
I do a couple different ones. So it's because my sister's into it now. I'm like, cool, let's fucking do this together.
Like, how long are your hikes?
We'll go. There's a park like 20 minutes north of here. It's in Sylmar. It's my hometown, and the hike is just a big ass hill. It's like a big ass steep hill. It's probably like 3/4 of a mile or a mile. You know what I mean? But it's a steep fucking hill, and we just do that, and then we take the pavement road down, which is like a mile and a half.
Okay.
And that's it. Just do that 3 times a week. It's not that hard. It's hard for a fatty, but not for like somebody who's working out a lot. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's not too bad.
Would you ever be interested in doing, say, like 7 miles or maybe even 12?
For sure. Fuck yeah.
Yeah?
Fuck yeah.
Cool, man. I just started really getting into hiking this year a lot more. And my last one was 7.5 in Malibu.
Oh, beautiful. Which one? Escondido Falls?
What's his name? Nope. It was just north of Sycamore Canyon. I forget the name. It was some probably some ranger's name or something. I forget his name. But it was 7.5, beautiful. You see the beach pretty much the whole way.
I love
Sycamore's the next one I want to do. It's 7.5, but it's a loop. And it's
cool.
awesome to do those out there. But I've been training to do because I was doing one a week for a good while. I missed last week. It was my birthday week, so that was like okay, let that one go.
But you also got to acknowledge. We got to acknowledge that too. That we're light and we're dark. Every now and then you got to fuck off.
I was super dark last week. I'm just crawling out of the hole right now. Just thank you for getting me out of the house, Rick. But no, my next big challenge for me is there's this thing called the 6 Peak Challenge. Have you heard of this one?
Yes.
Right? And the first one...
I don't know much about it.
The first one is, what is it called? Mount Wilson.
So you do 6 different mountains, right?
There's 6 tallest peaks in Southern California. Yeah.
And how, and fuck.
And
you want to do all of them?
I want to do them all. I'm going to check them
I'm
all
down.
off.
I'm down.
And they start with I think it's 14 miles is the first one.
I'm 100% down.
That's Mount Wilson. And there's about 4,000 gain. And
Damn.
all of them are about that. And what I really like, because I can do the mileage. I'm playing soccer once a week. I'm swimming 2, 3, 4 times a week.
Dude, drumming is a fucking major cardio. I don't know if you realize that too.
I try not to work out that much on the drums. I'll be honest with you. But
it doesn't matter. Like even
it's a different workout.
Exactly.
Much like hiking is different than playing soccer is different than swimming. All of those kick my ass in different ways for sure.
Yeah.
And
Swimming's excellent.
So I know my body. I feel great. I feel like I'm in probably the best shape of my life.
What have you
this year.
changed?
As far as my health.
Yeah,
the way I feel,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
eating and exercise.
Oh, 100%.
And the big factor of not drinking as much.
Yeah.
That was a big one for me. And I realized as soon as because every year I do the day after Valentine's Day to St. Patrick's Day, no drinking, right?
Oh, that's good.
So I do a nice little cleanse, kind of like dry out a little bit. And during that time, I'm able to see clear. I'm able to reflect. I'm able to not make bad decisions.
Yeah.
And I end up coming out of that with a better perspective of how I want to approach the rest of the year.
And a lot of times it's almost like you want to tread lighter, like, oh, do I want to start drinking again? Because fuck.
Yeah, man, it's the truth. And I, I've known this for a really long time, but I've really put it to work this year. And just knowing that, that extra 1, 2, 3 drinks when you come home to unwind at the end of the day or the end of the, after a gig, you can't just come home after for 3 hours and then, chill out.
Yeah.
Go right to sleep.
I replaced it with weed, bro. Yeah, because it's
I tried that too, and getting stoned just made me want to drink more, so that didn't work out. All right, the party's out.
Nick's a real fucking party. He's like, all right, we got weed. Where are the real drugs at? That's funny.
So I've been trying to replace it with tea.
Shit, good luck with that, dude. I always say that it's every behavior serves a function, right? And we ultimately want to get down to that function. Like what's like why do you need that function fulfilled? Like for you, so if for example if you're drumming a lot, you need something to unwind. Mm-hmm. There's got to be a healthier approach or a healthy something.
Maybe I need to go to the indica.
Oh, 100%. If you're doing sativa, fuck no. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. Dude, indica is just your body high. You're going to knock the fuck out if you do an indica.
So what am I doing wrong with the sativa?
It's a head high, bro. You're going to think and get crazy. Be like, oh, man, I can do this.
I got to get to work.
Exactly. I smoke sativa all the time.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's another big thing for me, sativa. Because what weed does to me, I like the anxiety. Is that weird? I like the anxiety it gives me. Like, I don't know why. I'm like, I start thinking about like, oh shit, well, what about that? And what about this? I'm like, I gotta get on my shit, and I start doing it then and there. It's almost like I'm met with the paranoia of irresponsibility or procrastination or whatever the fuck it is, and I'm like, okay, I gotta do this now. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's why weed is a big one that helped me too.
Well, so what other things are you doing? I mean, we were talking about a couple things that help your routine, help your mind, your body. What other things are you doing to fulfill purpose?
Dude, honestly, like, man, I try everything, right? Like, fucking, I did the Ayahuasca Retreat. I'm doing another one.
No way.
I'm doing another one next week.
What?
Yeah. I'm
You're
crazy.
insane.
Yeah, I know.
Wow. By the way, do your listener, like, who are your listeners?
I don't know, bro.
Do you have no idea? Do they even know what ayahuasca is, you think?
Oh, for sure. For sure. We had an episode. It's one of our fucking most popular episodes.
Oh, okay.
It's like,
all right.
Yeah.
Wow.
I went deep the first time. I mean, I had the whole story on here. I went real deep.
I'm going to have to go back and listen to that one.
Yeah, that one was rough, bro. I was still fuzzy. I was still like a couple days out after that. It was hard. It's intense, man. I do things that I gotta shake it up, man. I'm in a fucking acting class right now. It's like, oh, how Hollywood of me. But this acting class is fucking kicking my ass, bro. It's a 6-month commitment, and she's a brilliant fucking this lady is like, she just drops one-liners on you all night. She's just dropping gem after you're like, oh shit, I want to write that down. Oh shit, I want to write that down. Like all fucking night. She just makes you realize all these things about yourself. I'm like, damn, this lady's good. And we have an hour and a half of homework every day, and I'm like, shit, like we have all this extra pressure, and I have my managers and my agents and all these things I have to do. I just give myself things to do, and I have no other choice. You know what I mean? Like, than to grow from it. Either get crumbled from it or grow from it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that makes any sense.
I think even when you are getting crumbled, you're growing.
Exactly. You have to seek that point.
Yeah.
It's like a workout, right? When you're working out, you're not seeking comfort.
I think that's part of the reason why you love the anxiety of the sativa. Because you like feeling uncomfortable. Because if you're not feeling uncomfortable, you're not growing.
That makes sense. I
don't know.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense, yeah.
So how uncomfortable was ayahuasca?
Oh, my God, bro. That was the most uncomfortable, bro. I thought I died.
Wow.
Yeah, I took 4 drinks. Usually people do 1 or 2. I took 4.
Wise.
Yeah.
Nice decision.
Dude. Oh my God! I saw the edge of the Matrix, bro.
Oh my God!
Keanu Reeves wasn't there.
Yo, you You are definitely the type of person that should not be doing drugs.
No, you know what I tell people? I'm like, look, I am not against drugs. I think people should be able to do whatever the fuck they want. But if you're going to do them very rarely, but when you do them, do a lot of them. Get it out of your system, bro.
No, that's your approach. That's why I'm saying, like, you shouldn't do drugs. You're going to die. I'm worried about you going to this next ayahuasca.
No, you don't die from this, though. You don't die from this.
You said you almost died.
I thought I died. That's what the point of the medicine is, to make you think you're dying. Because it's the DMT that releases. So there's the dimethyltryptamine is the active ingredient in ayahuasca. Dimethyltryptamine is released by your brain when you're right before you die. So when you drink this, our body already has DMT in it. So our body breaks it down very quick. So if you were to drink it, here's the thing about ayahuasca. It's a mixture of a root of one plant and a vine of another. And there's 150,000 different plants in the Amazon jungle. And these ancient tribes figured out that the combination of only these two fucking root and vine boiled in this tea would have its effect. So what it is we have the ability to break down. If we were to drink like eat this root or whatever, plants all have DMT in them. Grass has DMT. The acacia trees, animals have. So we eat plants all the time that have it, but our body breaks it down. But when you boil them and you make this tea, it produces what's called an MAO inhibitor, and it stops. It's almost like takes that filter away, like similar to how your liver releases alcohol dehydrogenase when you're drinking. You know that, like, you know that whole process. So when you drink, your body produces a certain amount of alcohol dehydrogenase to like counter effect the effects of alcohol. So when you drink, your liver is like, oh, this motherfucker's giving me alcohol. Here's some alcohol dehydrogenase. So it breaks it down. The moment you start drinking more than your liver can produce that alcohol dehydrogenase is when you get drunk. Because then you feel, it's basically like you're poisoning yourself when you're drinking. So once your liver reaches that maximum of alcohol dehydrogenase, then you get drunk. Same thing with ayahuasca. It's like it's almost the same thing. So it's like the MAO inhibitor stops your body from breaking it down, and the DMT is able to be seeped into your system and for a long period of time. But it's a low dosage, because people smoke DMT too. But this is like a low dosage, and you're able to do like all this introspective, spiritual work on yourself. It's just, what it does is you're digging into your subconscious and seeing what all your fucking traumas are. It's insane, bro.
I need a drink.
It's insane, bro.
Rick, are you high?
A little bit. Yeah, dude.
I gotta tell you, man, I mean, that kind of stuff scares the shit out of me.
Me too, bro.
And I think that's why you do it.
Yeah.
You get to that place that you face that fear. You get scared of doing something. You're like, fuck it, I gotta face this.
That's
fear.
what it is, bro.
And you're addicted to that. That's why you shouldn't do drugs, man. That's what I'm saying.
That's why I shouldn't buy a motorcycle.
Okay.
I shouldn't buy a motorcycle, because if I
definitely should not. I don't want any of my friends on a motorcycle.
Dude, all my ex-girlfriends are like, no, you're not getting a motorcycle.
You're too pretty, man. You can't be
they're like, you're the type of person. I got hit by a truck when I was 13, when I was on my bike.
That explains a lot.
See what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. Shit's just rattling up, bro. Hashtag brain trauma. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think that we should try shit. That shit for me, it was like, I didn't think, my ego wanted me to think that I didn't have any trauma. All of us, we don't have any traumas, but we all have like certain traumas. Like, even if there's this book, The 4 Agreements, that I love, and he talks about like where a little girl comes home singing and she has a beautiful voice, but her mom's had a bad day at work. So she's like, shut the fuck up. You sound like shit. You sing horrible. And even though it's a lie, it's just because the mom's in a bad mood, that daughter now believes I have a bad voice. And it's like almost like that little seed that you planted into that child's brain becomes a trauma for the rest of their life, and they they'll have either anxiety or whatever from singing in public, or even if they have a nice voice, it's little traumas like that. And you're able to face all these things that are laying in your subconscious when you're on Aya, and almost like process them, be like, okay, that's what this was, all right, and you release that shit. You're like, cool, I don't have to carry that bag. You feel squeaky clean walking out of that shit, bro. Like you just scrubbed your fucking soul clean, and you're playing Grand Theft Auto. That's what it is.
Tony Hawk skateboard for me.
Bro, this is what it feels like. Dude, we're living in the Matrix, bro. This is a video game.
Do you play video games?
No, but this
You
is
reference video games a lot.
This is the video game. That's
okay.
why.
I mean,
I'm saying
realize
life.
we have videos on us. I just realized that.
Yeah.
I realized I got dressed today thinking I'm going to be on a radio show.
Yeah.
And there's videos everywhere. This is great.
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I have a lot of questions for you, apparently. This is actually my podcast. I'm
I know.
interviewing you.
Nick's hijacked this shit.
I'm just curious, man. Because
I'm telling you, bro.
Oh,
See how the universe brings it full circle, bro?
There we
Curious
go.
Radio.
You do. You really fascinate me, and I'm always excited to interview my friends and family, and like
Same here.
just people that I really, really am interested in.
Yeah.
And you mentioned, so I'm going to tie a couple things together right now. So you're this kind of bringing all these traumas out of you through ayahuasca, and also I'm going to just say, and I'm going to ask you. So as a kid, when you were thick Rick.
Yeah. Well, I was skinny growing up, actually. That's why I got big.
Why did you get big? How did you get big? Like
Lifting and fucking eating everything in sight and drinking.
Okay. And so I was just going to ask you, what was was there something that had happened maybe in your, I mean, were you just like,
to get to that point?
Yeah, were you ever
I think
bullied
I think I had small, I was. So I was bullied when I was like in elementary, and then like after that I became the bully. I reinvented myself without even knowing. I realized as a grown man, like when I went to like middle school, it was like almost I became a different persona, bro, and I became the bully. I was a dick, and I was bullying kids, and I was like, I'm gonna be this new dude. It's so crazy to look back because you're like, I became this new person, same fucking kid, but your attitude towards the world. It's like that little skinny kid who bullies kids, but he'll really get his ass beat by that fat kid, which happened to me. I got beat up by a fat kid. Karma.
Yeah, right. I was just gonna say that.
But it was one of those things. I think I wanted to be big because I had like small mans. Just growing up in like hoodish ass areas, like you want to be tough. You know what I mean? Like, and I think it just got to the point where I'm like, hey, I'm a little too tough.
Well,
tough, I mean fat.
I have a couple friends that grew up as fat kids, and I never knew that. And now when I'm hanging out with them later in life, I never knew them as little kids.
Yeah.
They tell me these stories and they show me these pictures. They're like huge,
oh my
right?
God, yeah.
And I recently, do you ever listen to Joe Rogan?
Of course.
Okay, and
king of podcasts.
And then what about? Did you see the one with David Goggins?
I didn't see the whole. Yeah, the Navy
dude,
SEAL guy pull ups.
right?
He has torso. He has all kinds of injuries. That guy.
He's an ultra runner. I mean, he's been through Hell Week 3 times.
His mind is stronger than that dude's body.
Insane, right? I mean, that was a very inspiring podcast. But
it was weird.
It was weird.
Because he's like a Terminator almost. You're like, dude, that's not normal.
He was intense. It was like the difference because Joe Rogan's usually pretty like, hey, man, I want to. But he had Joe Rogan like this.
Yeah.
And like they had just drank a bunch of coffee or something.
Yeah. Kind of like us.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for the coffee, by the way.
Yeah, appreciate it.
But what I noticed is he talked about him being a fat kid when he was David Goggins talked about being a fat kid and how he was like, just get after it, man. Just get up, get the fuck out there, man. Get it done.
Yeah.
And I have a couple friends that were like that are just, they grew up as fat kids. Maybe they just got teased too much. And there's some other trauma, I'm sure, that happened in their lives as well. But they are addicted to working out now.
Yep.
They're like addicted to never, ever get that way. And I wonder how far you can take that before it's now unhealthy.
Yeah, because that's a prime example because that dude's fucking his body up a lot. Like, he's done a lot of crazy shit. He had like a split hair fracture in his leg when he was doing Hell Week. Or some shit, like, I forgot. That guy's machine, like, you know what I've realized a lot more of is people don't learn the same way we learn. Like, I respond well to that, like, yeah, fucking get after it. But everybody's not like that. You know what I mean? And I'm learning, like, being like, oh, some people, you know, have to do it their own way. Have to do it a little bit like you have to tread more lightly. I don't know, man. That dude... I don't know. That's a good question.
Well, because I have a buddy who's was a marathon runner. He was a fat kid, and he's
a marathon runner.
Grew up, and now he's a marathon runner, and now he's had 2 back surgeries.
Oof. From the pounding of running.
The running, the pavement, man.
Yeah.
And
that's why I don't do that shit.
Fucked up. His knees, his hips, his back. He's just fucked up, dude.
Oh, man.
And he can't do that anymore. He's barely 40, maybe. I don't know. Like that.
At 40, you shouldn't be that... Dude,
no.
I hope at 40, I look like I'm 30. That's what I'm shooting for. Also, like, the skin, bro. Your skin changes when you change your diet. Like, from cutting out sugar, like, even down to the products that I use, like your fucking soap, using all natural
Hey, by the way,
shit.
I like your soap. It's one of my favorite soaps.
Oh, yeah? The Myers one?
It's good, man.
Yeah, it's a good shit.
All the best studios have them.
Yeah, exactly. So I got that one. I got the Myers, and I got the... What's the other one? What's Dr. Bronner's?
Well, you look great, man. You look not
brother.
a day over 29, I would say.
Exactly. That's what I want to stay at. I'm going to stay at 29.
You look young, man. You look good, dude.
Yeah, I look my age now, I think. I was just looking older from, like, drinking and eating sugar and all that shit. Yeah, I think we could say too much of anything is bad, bro. Too much of anything. And that's another thing that Aya, like, taught me, at least. It was just, like, learn how to be gentle with yourself. And that's why I'm saying, like, acknowledge that you're dark and you're light. Sometimes you got to fuck off. Like, sometimes I want to go to the club and pop bottles and get crazy and smoke a fat blunt like I'm fucking, you know. But sometimes I want to do yoga, you know, on my Sunday. You know what I mean? Like, I got to acknowledge both parts of that and not beat the fuck out of myself. Because if you can't, like, push that part down on you know what I mean? Like, there's a part of Nick for sure that's like, I'll have a couple cocktails. Like, that side comes out. Like,
there's
I'm
more than a part
of
Nick that wants a couple cocktails, like, all the time. But yeah.
But you see what I'm saying?
I fight that Nick every day.
So you have, obviously, one wolf is being fed more than the other. Party Nick is being fed more. And it's just about which one are you feeding?
Yeah.
You know, keep the other one starved a little bit. Keep the bad Nick starved a little bit. I don't know. I don't know. This has been a big part of it. This has been a big part of, like, the change for me. This podcast, like, kind of documenting the process of, like, we're figuring it out. We don't fucking know. Like, one day you realize, like, oh shit, I'm a grown up. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, I thought I was gonna have it. Like, you know, I think it was Joe that put it that way. He's like, yeah, it was in one of the stand-up specials where he's like, you don't think you're a grown up, and all of a sudden, like, you're a shit. I thought I was gonna have everything figured out when I was a grown up. I'm a fucking grown up now. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have it all figured out. Nobody told me what to do. And you realize, like, everything is your responsibility. Everything. And you're like, all right, let's figure it out.
You know, it made me laugh. I was going to a psychologist this last year for maybe six different times. And I think after our third session, I was asking him some really, you know, intense, deep questions. And he came back, he said, well, you know, it just sounds like you're just now coming out of adolescence. Like, I'm 36 years old, man, and to hear that, just coming out of adolescence.
You're like, fuck you, doctor, what do you know?
I was like, first of all, I was like...
Sir, I'm a grown man.
I was a little excited, because I'm like, yes! I'm finally coming out of adolescence. And I was like sad. I'm like, I don't want to come out of adolescence.
Yeah.
What does that even mean? How do you tell a 36-year-old man you're just now coming out of adolescence? Well, thank you, Doc. Yeah. Appreciate that.
How the fuck am I supposed to proceed with my life now that I'm a 36-year-old adolescent man?
Yeah. You're not a psychiatrist. I can't ask you for drugs now. Yeah. So why are you telling me that?
Therapy's good. I was at one point, dude, I was in a bad relationship. And I was like, dude, this girl, we were doing couples therapy, bro. And we'd only been together for like 9 months. I was like, I don't know why I ignored that for so long. I was like,
here we go. Now we're getting to the good stuff.
You know what I'm talking about? You've been in those relationships, right? The
go
bad
ahead.
ones where
you go first.
You know, and dude, and I'm sitting in this fucking therapy, and I'm like, the therapist is like talking to us and shit. And to me, like, all these problems seemed so fucking ridiculous. Like, oh, well, what is... I'm like... I just felt so silly because the therapist would be talking to her, and she's like, why is this always about me? She's like, well, you're the one who's triggered. And I'm like, oh, my God, I'm watching a fucking Dr. Phil special right now. I'm
like, thank you, Doc. I'm not the only one, you see?
For real. And all these fucking... Dude, it was slow poison. Another one of those, like, slow poison. It's a good experience for people who need it. But I think it's not for everybody. Like, for me, I don't necessarily need that type of couples therapy. Maybe my own therapy for me, but couples therapy, I don't know, bro.
I feel like when couples start going to therapy, and I'm not against it either. I think it is very helpful for people that have been in relationships for a really long time and are invested and really care and
That's
want
the difference.
To make it last. They're just trying to figure out how to make it work.
Maybe they had kids or something.
Maybe not. I don't know. Whatever
what I'm saying
it
is, like, whatever reason they need to change it up to figure it out.
I just think that if you're going into therapy as a couple, you're probably already done.
You're 1 foot out, 1 foot in.
Done, dude. Yeah.
And that's what I kept fighting myself, my stubbornness. Were like, and that's been another detriment. Like, we do so many things that are counterproductive. Like, if you think about it. I think for me it was the same thing. Like, you do all these other things to busy yourself from the thing that you should actually be doing. Like, from the very thing you should be doing. Like, oh, well, let me clean my shoes first, and then I'll do that. oh, I got this email. Let me check this email. Let me check my Instagram real quick. And you do all these things to avoid it because there's this weird, like, unresolved anxiety. Down to, like, even playing drums. Like, I remember I started doing all these different things just to be like, I don't, that anxiety of like, well, if I never fully commit, I'm never fully going to fail. You know what I mean? And it's like facing that fear and being like, all right, I might fucking fail. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Let's go out swinging, bitch.
I could appreciate that.
Yeah. I think that's a lot
fears,
of it.
Man.
Huh?
You got to face your fears, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that about you.
Yeah. Thank you, brother. Yeah. It's one of those things that I don't know. I think every artist is really fearless. You're pouring your fucking heart and soul out to your art. And it's in the pursuit of your art, you learn so much about yourself. You know what I mean? Like, even being a musician, that itself is a spiritual experience. I mean, how many different types of groups do you play with?
A lot.
Like, all different genres of music too, right?
Everything, man.
And it's all different emotional experience, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah.
Like, when you're playing, it's an emotional experience. When you're fucking, and I don't know. That itself hits you in the way where you need to learn from it and grow from it. So,
bring this all the way full circle back to Songwriter Sundays. I think when I first started Songwriter Sundays, myself and a couple others, when we put this thing together, it was really about me trying to understand the artist better. And I just was blown away by these artists that get up there and bare their souls on that carpet.
It's
on
fascinating
that rug.
to watch.
Every Sunday night, I mean, they're playing original music, telling stories deep inside of themselves that you probably couldn't get out of them in a conversation sitting at the bar. That's what blows me away, is they'll share it with you behind a guitar.
Yeah.
But trying to get that out of them over dinner or a beer, even,
to get anybody to open up and be like, no,
blows me away.
Yeah.
And they're really putting themselves in a vulnerable place, and that is so. I think that is why people love watching live performances so much, when an artist is actually delivering it that way.
Like, here's my fucking heart, all of it, Man, it's fascinating to watch, and that's why I think a lot of these quote unquote social media stars are like blowing up, right? Because now we have direct connection to people that have something. Cardi B, look at Cardi B. She's just so unfiltered and so like, fuck it, this is me, authentic. Like, I'm just pouring myself out there, no fear, no like. People are fascinated to see that. Like, damn, this bitch don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, we all like, damn, she does not give a shit.
You know what, Rick? You have all the makings of being a social media star, bro. I don't know if you realize that. You got the cool backwards hat, which I've adopted.
Hey, bro, look
you
at
got
this.
the good looks. You got the cute puppy.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You already got
She's
Nala.
passed the fuck out.
Nala.
Hey.
You're making all kinds of Instagram appearances.
For real. Oh, I love her.
You got your own pad. You got your own. Yeah, man.
Dude, it's the way to go, man. I don't know.
See you blowing up. I see you blowing up real big.
We'll see what
man.
happens, bro. We'll see what happens. Right now, it's time for some hot seat questions.
Oh, shit.
All right, bro. Would you rather paint a wall with your face or with your knees?
Wait, where do these questions come from?
Don't worry about it. You answer the fucking question.
Would you rather paint
a wall with your face or with your knees? Don't look at the questions. It's a hot seat.
My face.
Bam.
I love to put my face in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. On there.
No, I'm saying you got to paint the wall.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool. All right.
With my face,
you
bro.
got it. I think it's more effective.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah. If you could add one athletic gift to yourself, what would it be? Like, if it, explosivity, or like strength, speed, you know what I mean? Like,
I wish I was a little bit taller so that I could slam dunk, man.
Dunk on you, balls in your face, motherfuckers.
I really do. I actually have dreams about that, being able to dunk over 6-footers.
See, that's a thing, bro. If people were able to make, that's the next thing. That's the next surgery. That's gonna be the next thing, bro. You know how girls are injecting fat into their asses? Dudes are gonna start injecting fat into their knees, just to be fucking taller.
No spring-loaded feet or some
Yeah.
shit, man. I used to jump off trampolines thinking I was Jordan,
Bro.
tongue out.
Yeah.
Bam!
Dude, that's fucking funny.
You know
That's
how
a
many,
good
you want
one.
to talk about failure. You know how many times I hit the concrete and missed the hoop, bro.
That'll make you grow, Nick.
I
That's
didn't-
what made you
yeah,
grow.
Well, I'm still short.
Would
so.
you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck?
Oh man, 100 duck-sized horses. Are you kidding me? Where the fuck do you get these questions? That's great. I'm literally imagining myself running around a
kicking
pond,
the fuck out of these
just
things.
like it's Mario Brothers or something.
Kicking them.
There's got to be a video game out there.
Oh, dude. I'm picturing you running down a fucking field just kicking down these little horse ducks.
The hot seat. Oh no, what do you got here? Oh, this is gonna be great.
Bro, now we're down to some current events.
Oh yes.
Bam. So you grew up in Idaho, you said, right?
That's right.
Did you guys have a lot of nature out there and shit?
We do.
So did you guys have like animal encounters all the
You know,
time?
not where I lived, but cousins that lived about half hour out of the city for sure. Yeah, I mean we'd get. Yeah, I mean, I lived in the city. I was just outside of Boise, Idaho.
I was looking at this. Oh, Boise. Okay, yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, you're pretty city. Okay.
We got Bozeman.
Yeah,
I got
Montana.
some friends out in Montana.
Fucking bear.
Just
in the school, bro.
Just chilling.
Coming. I think about that. I think about here in LA, we would be so fucked. You know what I mean? Like people out there are used to weather. They're used to animals. Nobody got jacked by that bear. Out here, at least 5 morons would get jacked by a fucking bear. They're like, oh, is that a fake bear? Is that from the wax museum? I don't know.
Is there? I'm trying to think because you know how we have these like, what are those called when they have earthquake drills or whatever?
Oh yeah. We had those here.
We don't have bear drills, man.
Mm-mm. New Jersey has like a real bear problem. They're in the fucking streets. There's like videos of people like taking video on their cell phone of bears fighting on their front lawn. It's insane, bro.
Wow.
Because you can't hunt bears out there anymore, which is a problem because there's people.
Yeah.
Bears and people can't live in the same environment.
Would you ever eat a bear burger?
If I killed it, yeah. And if it didn't have trichinosis.
And if it was like raised properly, like in New Jersey?
Fuck yeah.
If it was just like chilling?
Eat the fuck out of that bear.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Huh.
Fuck that bear.
Okay.
If it didn't have trichinosis.
Wait, what's that?
Trichinosis is like it's in their meat. Apparently, like if you don't cook it right, it's like a parasite. Kills you, gets you sick, kills you. A lot of animals have that shit.
Huh.
All right, bro. I want since we talk about music all the time, I just wanted to play some music. And I was thinking about like what can I play for Nick that he would like.
Oh yeah, I'm a huge marching band fan.
Bro, I love this is DCI. So this is the shit that I did when I was like touring when I was like 15. And these guys are, for those of you listening, if you guys don't know what DCI is, just Google it. It's Drum Corps International. It's the best brass and percussion players in the world. Go head to head and compete. And there's like fucking stadiums full of thousands of people.
Insane.
And these people this is a Carolina Crown, and they're warming up. Listen to this. Listen how clear this sound is. They have all the horns in a circle. They do what's called circular breathing, so they keep the note going in the forever. They're all under 22 because you age out at 22.
Why does he make them step forward? What's that all about?
It's like how I don't know. They have it's all run like military style almost, like the way we used to be standing at attention.
It's not like they're marching in place at all. Like they make one step forward.
Yeah, it's whoever's on cue. I think whoever's playing. See how whoever's playing right now. Now everybody else steps in when they're playing. See, now he mixes the chord up. Look at this. At cue. So, Nick, prepare yourself. fucking loud. Insane, right? Insane, right?
Wow, I've seen a lot of DCI videos, bro. I've never seen that. That is
I see this video
good
and I'm like,
find.
oh, it hits you in the chest, bro.
That sent chills up my spine. That conductor was so into it.
That's the instructor, yeah. He's the tech. Whoo! And last but not least, we're gonna finish with some cheesy poos.
Oh, I seen this one.
This is a warm up, man. I love this warm up. This is my jams back in the day. Y'all don't even know this side of me. People are gonna hear this like, what the fuck is that, a train? No, it's drummers playing very complex rhythms. Woo!
Yeah, let's speed it up for you.
Yeah. Fuck. What do you want to leave them off with, Nick? One last thing for the listeners. Give them some gold. Give them some of that Nick magic.
Man, I don't know.
Well, first, what do you want to plug? Follow you on Instagram. You already said that, but Nick
Yeah,
Ineck
Instagram.
at Nick.
Nick Ineck Drums. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Ineck is the last name. Nick Ineck Drums.
Instagram. DRUMS.
And Facebook. Is Facebook even a thing?
I don't know.
Not really
I deleted
anymore.
it off my phone. That's another thing I did. I deleted Facebook off my phone. I deleted Snapchat off my phone. And deleted Twitter off my phone.
Oh.
And I just linked them off of my Instagram.
Okay.
Bro, it takes hours out of your day.
Yeah,
and
it
it
does.
depresses the fuck out of you watching all these fucked up Facebook videos that
Yeah, it
are
really
based
does.
on algorithms.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I don't know. Anyway, what do you want to leave them off with, man?
What are you doing? We're gonna give
What's
him
your
a video
message?
or something?
No, your message. Your message. What do you want?
What, man? I don't know. I don't got messages,
Yeah,
man.
you do, bro. What do you feel? What are you taking away from this whole experience that you think people should learn?
I'm grateful, man. I'm super grateful to have friends like you that are so goddamn creative and so inspiring, man. I mean, to be able to come here and to see what you're doing with your art and the impact you're making on the world, I think that's the takeaway. I think
Share your art.
Get out there, stay healthy as you can. I mean, but like you said, let yourself have a good time from time to time, and be childlike. Be childlike.
That's
Take
what it
yourself
is.
back to being 8 years old often.
That's the message we were looking for, Nick.
That's it. Be childlike.
Bam.
That's a good one, right?
Yeah, man. Be children. Don't be irresponsible. Be responsible children. But make the 8-year-old version of you proud. All right, y'all. This is episode 55.
All right.
Bam. Wrapping it up. Signing off, boss.
Hey.
Thanks for joining us, brother.
Curious Radio. Thanks, Rick.
I appreciate
Thanks,
this, man.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, y'all. Catch y'all next week.